You won't believe the reaction of England fans after Keir Starmer decided to step down. They continued raising English flags and displaying their national pride at the World Cup, and took on Andy Burnham and Keir Starmer again, chanting the usual song, but this time a replacement of Keir Starmer with Andy Burnham, so they chanted, "Andy Burnham is a wanker." They went further to also display the British flag at the stadium in pops, along the streets and everywhere, saying this is their national pride and no one has the right to tell them not to display it or ban them from using their flag. Back home, Andy Burnham, who hadn't even been announced as the next Prime Minister, was already confronted by some British Patriots when he was going for the swearing in as the MP for Macclesfield. Some Patriots said he won 7,000 votes, and 2,000 of the votes were those who just wanted Keir Starmer out, whereas they are millions of British voters and majority believe he can't handle the job. Also, some bold England fans at home still went on to mock Keir Starmer at home, and most people in the general public already think Andy Burnham will do worse than Keir Starmer if he is finally appointed next Prime Minister. We're going to go through all this in this video, but first hit the like button and subscribe for more. Despite the disappointing 0-0 draw of England versus Ghana, the England fans still celebrated their national pride in pubs, snacks along the street and in the stadium by displaying the England flag and saying they won't be silent to the flag bans imposed by the government on them and will continue raising their flags no matter what the government does. Some fans at home also took on Keir Starmer still after his resignation, chanting this.
Come on! Keir Starmer's a wanker! Keir Starmer's a wanker! Keir Starmer's a wanker! Stop the fucking boats!
Also, when Andy Burnham arrived in London for the swearing in as the MP for Macclesfield, some British lads already knowing that he will be the replacement of Keir Starmer confronted him while he was going out of his car and when he was about to enter Parliament.
Andy Burnham! Andy Burnham! Andy Burnham, is this a coup? Are you mounting a coup, sir?
Prime Minister!
Are you ready to be Prime Minister, sir?
Much TV News, what do you reckon, Prime Minister by July?
It's really sad that someone hasn't been sworn in yet as Prime Minister, but the general public already thinks he will do far worse than the person who just resigned because he lost the public's trust. Many other British patriots, lad Katie Hopkins, aired out their concerns about Andy Burnham replacing Keir Starmer and said he is complicit to the grooming gang's cover-up. He won just 5,000 votes of the millions of voters in the UK, and he wants to use 5,000 votes to become next Prime Minister, so sadly he will do worse than Starmer himself. And that Starmer survived for 2 years, but his own term will be way shorter than Starmer's.
Trump announced that Keir Starmer was resigning, and for the first time in his life, Keir Starmer did what he was told. Now, Andy Burnham wants to be Prime Minister. Andy Burnham was just elected as an MP in a tiny constituency by 9,000 votes, and about 2,000 of those were people who didn't want reform, so were voting tactically but not actually for Labour. So Andy Burnham plans to be Prime Minister based off about 7,000 Labour votes when we have a voting population of about 50 million people here in the UK, 60 million if you include fraudulent Labour family voting. So 6,000, 7,000 votes out of a possible voting population of 50, 60 million. That seems very democratic indeed, doesn't it? Andy Burnham is the Messiah without a mandate. Our country's problems are not going to be fixed at the ballot box. It is going to be a truly biblical struggle instead, and I don't think Andy Burnham is prepared for that.
Other people gave their concerns on this, and all of them were not positive about Andy Burnham's replacement of Keir Starmer. Most people demanded a general election, that the British people's concerns count, and someone should not become Prime Minister when it's not the general public that has put him there.
And nothing seems to change. Just changing the person at the top doesn't deliver the change that people want. So if he delivers real change, and that means fixing our broken political system, then we'll be willing to listen. But I'm not yet convinced he's in that place. And if we fix our broken politics, we can fix our health service and deal with social care that people have been talking about for.
What stands out from this situation is not any single political figure, but the growing disconnect between many voters and the political establishment. Across the country, there appears to be a deep frustration among sections of the public who feel that their concerns have not been listened to for years. When trust in political institutions begins to weaken, people often look for ways to make their voices heard, whether through protests, chants, public demonstrations, or symbolic acts that express their identity and beliefs.
We need a Donald Trump in the UK, someone who can see the bigger picture and not be so afraid of what all the politicians are going to think of them when they do stuff, and do it. That's what we need.
Thank goodness we got Donald Trump. I don't know what would have happened if we didn't.
I love him.
So do I.
Another important issue is the debate around national identity and patriotism. For many people, displaying national flags is not simply a political statement. It is an expression of culture, heritage, and pride in their country. When citizens feel that these symbols are being criticized or discouraged, it can create an even stronger determination to embrace them. That reaction is often less about politics and more about people wanting to defend what they see as part of their national identity. The public discussion surrounding potential political leadership also highlights a broader challenge facing modern politics. Voters are increasingly skeptical and demand tangible results rather than promises. Whoever takes on a leadership role next will face significant pressure to rebuild confidence and demonstrate that government is capable of addressing the issues that matter most to ordinary people. Ultimately, this moment reflects a wider crisis of trust rather than a debate about one individual. The real question is whether political leaders can reconnect with the public, listen to concerns more effectively, and restore confidence in the democratic process. Until that happens, public dissatisfaction is likely to remain a major force in British politics. What are your own thoughts on this? Share in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell for more.